This is DeWalts 9-piece 18-volt combo kit. And for this video, we're going to talk about this combo kit as a whole, and then after that, we'll go through every single tool in this combo kit, and I'll let you know what I think of these tools, if they're any good, and if this combo kit is worth buying. Now, firstly, I have done a few videos now on 10-piece combo kits. Every other video I've done before this one has been a 10-piece combo kit. And for all of those combo kits, you normally get 6 to 7 useful tools, and then a few other tools that aren't going to be useful. For those tools, I'm talking about a blower, a torch, a radio, or a vacuum. Yes, you are going to use them. They will be useful on site, but I'm also talking about practical tools that you're going to use to help build something with. And as we can see for this 9-piece combo kit, it only comes with the torch and the blower, meaning that we are getting 7 useful tools, so that this is on par with a few of those other combo kits. Now, even though we are getting 7 useful tools, we can quickly look around and see we've got the compact size recip, which is obviously a bit cheaper and it's not as powerful as your full size recip. This hammer drill is probably the smallest rotary hammer I've seen in my life. We won't be testing it in this video, but I'd actually be very curious to see how much better this hammer drill is compared to just a regular DeWalt drill on the hammer mode. Talking about this drill as well, the drill and driver are some of DeWalt's cheapest drill and drivers. Just for a quick head-to-head comparison, this is my old DeWalt drill that I used to use, and you can just see the size difference looking at them. You can imagine how much more powerful this DeWalt drill is. And I have done a few tests on a lot of these tools here, and sadly these models aren't super powerful. The only plus side though is that this combo kit did cost $17.38, and upon buying this, there's some great redemptions out on the table. I'm pretty sure that when I got this, the redemption that was available was for a miter saw worth around $600. So the price for this combo kit turned out to be really good. Now, depending on what you want to use this combo kit for though, there's a few other things you got to think about before you decide to buy it. If you're a DIYer around home, these tools can be great for you. As I said before, the recip, the rotary hammer, drill and driver aren't going to be near as powerful as some of the better models. If you're a carpenter, I would not recommend this combo kit for you. I think it'd be better to save up for another combo kit around the $2,000 price range. DeWalt may even do that with a few higher quality tools. It's not too bad when you get 1 or 2 tools that are a bit compact. They're not as big, they're not as powerful, but we're looking at 4 separate tools here where we do have the cheaper version, where they're not going to be super powerful when you're using them on site. One good thing though is we do have the 185mm saw. This is a really nice saw. I know a lot of people that have used this exact model, and I've really ever heard a single complaint about it. And one great thing about this saw is that most of those other 10-piece combo kits offer a 165mm blade. This is a bigger blade, it's a larger saw. I have run a few tests on it, and I feel like you do get a good amount of power out of the saw as well. I'm actually quite a big fan of this saw. One massive issue though with this saw is that it doesn't have that rafter hook, meaning that if you did get this battery saw and you're hoping to use it in the roof or working off a ladder, it's going to be very awkward. You're always going to have to try to sit it down somewhere, find somewhere for it to balance. Secondly, because it is a 185mm saw, it does have a bit of weight to it, but I don't think that's an issue. For the amount of power that we get out of this 18-volt saw, that weight can definitely get pushed to the side. Another major thing I love to talk about and look at with saws is the visibility you have to see where the blade's hitting the timber. When I'm using a saw, I'm always looking at the front here, where the teeth of the blade are hitting the timber. I'm not caring about the base plate at the front or any of these measurements here. I want to look at exactly where I'm cutting. And this saw is great. It's not crammed in. The handles move to the side a little bit, which is good because you've got this huge window here where you can easily see through and see what you're cutting. We'll jump through to the grinder, which is another good tool that comes in this combo kit. We do have the paddle switch, which is really good. It's a good safety mechanism that you actually have to hold down that safety and hold down the trigger for the grinder to operate. I see too many grinders where you've got that little tab that you push up and you can let go and the grinder's on. This is definitely the most dangerous tool that we have in this combo kit. So the fact that you have to hold down that trigger for it to work, and when you release the trigger, when you release the tool, it automatically shuts off. I'm a good fan of that. When I got all these 10-piece kits, DeWalt and Milwaukee are the only 2 brands that didn't give us a full-size recip, and DeWalt is even smaller than Milwaukee's mini recip. So I did put them to the test, and this one is quite slow. One good thing about this one though is we do have the option to put a belt hook on the side of it here. So it is actually really easy to hook onto your tool belt, walk up a ladder, do whatever you need to do. And you can imagine doing renovations, crawling to the roof. If that's something you have to do, you probably prefer to carry a small tool like this around with you. Only problem is if you are doing a renovation, you're probably working with older, harder timber, and this thing is definitely going to struggle to cut through that. We'll jump back over here to this rotary hammer, and I honestly cannot believe my eyes when I did the unboxing and pulled this tool out. Now the build and the design of this rotary hammer is great. It's really easy to hold on to. We've got the belt hook on the side as well, which is awesome. We've got this little tab on the side. I've never seen a design like this before, and that's to change it from drill to rotary hammer. Another thing I've never seen before is we've got this little tab at the top to go from forwards to reverse. And I feel like that could be annoying if you're switching it back and forth, trying to get a drill bit out if it's stuck. It's not as convenient as most of the other switches, which is like what we can see in this impactor, where you just flick it forward and back where your fingers already are to hold the tool. For this one, you kind of need to move your fingers a little bit out of the way, re-grip the tool to flick it back and forth. And it's just the extra mucking around that I'm not a fan of. We've got DeWalts multi-tool over here. I'm a big fan of this. This is one of my favorite multi-tools on the market. It's got a great grip, really easy to hold and press that trigger down at the same time. And we've got that locking button here too. So you can press the trigger down, switch it across, and it's gonna remain on. What gets even better is how easy it is to change attachments. We just pull this lever down, we can take the sanding attachment off, hold it down again, and we can put another sanding attachment, or we can put a cutting attachment or anything on. I really like that. One thing I've spoken about when I've done a few of these other 10-piece or 9-piece combo kit reviews is that there are a few multi-tools where you actually have to unscrew a bit, unscrew an Allen screw maybe, and take that out, put your blade in, and then screw something else on. Firstly, we've got the time factor. That's going to take a while to do. But secondly, you've got the chance of losing that little screw. And once you've lost that, you can't use your multi-tool anymore. I've used this exact same model, and I've only got good things to say about that tool. That tool is really good. Moving across here, we do have DeWalts blower. It's got the trigger, which is great. I forgot which brand makes a blower without the trigger, and I cannot stand it. We've also got a little lock switch where we can flick in and the blower is just gonna remain on, just in case you want to set it up somewhere and just keep it blowing while you leave and do something else. Apart from that, there's not a lot more to say about the blower. We do have the 2 nozzles on the ends. We do have the extended reach. And then over here, of course, we do have our little torch. It's got a really nice hook on the end of it. I would love to see that hook being even wider so you can comfortably hook that over a bit of timber if you got that in the roof. If you're doing a renovation such as in here and the plaster's down, it'd be pretty cool to be able to hook that over on the roof. Obviously, once the battery's in, you can just stand it up on any surface though. And that leaves us with the drill and driver at the back here. Now, if you did see my main channel, I did do that video where I put 6 brands head to head. And that's why I've got all these combo kits to put all these brands head to head. The idea of that video was to buy a combo kit around the same price tag. Obviously, DeWalt came in with the cheaper combo kit, and it did give us a cheaper drill and driver. So in that video, the drill and driver definitely didn't do too well. It got outperformed by a few of the other brands. And I think because of that, it's where you really have to have a good think if this combo kit will be worth it for you. Myself as a carpenter, I always say this saw is the most important tool for a carpenter. They've got a great saw here, and that's one of the most important things. As long as you can do nice cuts and your saws just gonna keep going and won't die straight away, that's really good. So obviously for your jobs like fitting off hanging doors, everything like that, this drill and driver is going to be perfect. It's where you start to look at roofing plumbers or someone that's going to be driving screw after screw. Even if you're doing fencing and you're just going to be driving screws in all day, I could see these tools starting to struggle then. If you're a DIYer and you just want some tools to work around the house, I don't think they're going to be an issue. They're not going to be as quick as some of the other brands, but unless you're standing there all day for 8 hours straight, non-stop screwing, it's not going to make a big difference. We can see we do have the single charger as well, and this combo kit does come with 3 5-amp batteries. And behind us, we also do have this DeWalt bag to carry everything around, and all the tools do fit in the DeWalt bag.